The first topic of the day is voice-controlled shifting the future of cycling?
Absolutely not.
So SRAM have applied for and therefore released into the public information about these new patents that they have, which are for two things. The first one is voice-controlled shifting.
Cool.
Which involves, well, we have a diagram here. We'll explain in more detail. Basically, a microphone that you speak into as you're riding. The diagram has a helmet on. Little microphone that pops out.
That diagram is hilarious, isn't it?
It is. Well, I think I don't want to make fun of it because I think there's some good uses here.
Okay. Cool.
As crazy as that sounds.
No, it doesn't.
Bear with me. And the second thing is gloves, which you shift with, like finger touch gloves.
Like, how do you shift currently?
By pressing buttons
with
fingers. It's basically the same thing.
But
I assume there's a reason for this. They're not stupid. They're not just doing it for fun, are they? Or they're doing it,
who knows?
Literally so we talk about it in a podcast, potentially. The first one, voice-activated shifting. Initially, I was like, oh, this is a bit weird. In actual fact, I think it's really cool.
I think of the two, it has more of a case.
Mm-hmm. I've got a friend with one arm, and he has to have an adapted bike to be able to shift.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, another one of my friends, he's paraplegic, rides a hand bike. He pedals like this, for the viewers, for the people who are listening. He pedals with his arms round and round, and having to shift and everything is difficult again. Voice activation would help both of those people immensely.
That is exactly the reason why I think it has potential merit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there are people with, I guess some people with mobility issues would benefit from that, perhaps.
Yep.
The other one,
mm-hmm.
I think is ridiculous.
What, the finger? But there must be a reason.
But they already do wireless blips, so just get a pair of gloves and just stick a blip in it. Bosh, done.
Really expensive. That's going to be really expensive.
What, you think that's going to be cheap?
So the drawings of the gloves show pressure sensor pads on each fingertip, linking to a mini processor / battery unit on the back of the hand. That would be annoying. One example SRAM gave for how the gloves might work is touching your index finger and thumb together to upshift the rear derailleur and touching your thumb to the middle finger to downshift. They also said they could potentially work by just pressing a fingertip against the handlebar.
I've worked out a scenario where this is actually the best product in the world.
What's that?
Unicycles.
Because there is no handlebars.
Exactly.
But there's also, like a hub gear.
Well, you could.
There is no hub.
Well, you could now though. You could get a rear mech on a unicycle.
You could. No, well, you don't need a rear mech. There is geared unicycles. I don't know how they changed them. I met a guy who was talking
not with
to
a
me
magic
about
glove.
Not with a magic glove.
No.
He wishes he had a magic glove. It would be cool. So SRAM being SRAM, when it comes to shifting, it's not always mechs you're talking about, or you like using the technology. They use it for other stuff. So droppers, the axis droppers.
Yeah, give me another example.
That's about it.
Okay, here's a question. Let's think up.
Trying to be positive here,
3 scenarios where it could be like really cool having a glove activated electric SRAM thing. What about? I've got none.
Why?
I was trying to think something food related, but still it doesn't.
Food related?
Well, I don't know. Like it feeds you, like a feeding tube, and you press a button.
Which also doubles up as a microphone, so you can also shift with it.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Suspension lockout could be a thing.
It's indulgent, that though, isn't it?
Wireless. Mountain bike handlebars I'm trying to be kind to this here. Trying to come up with ideas. I bet they've got some good ones. Handlebars get very cramped on a mountain bike, so dropper and suspension lockout, and then you get gears and everything. It's just.
What if they're going to get into the esports space, and it's actually a controller? Because if you think Zwift just launched that controller thing, didn't they? Which has got loads of buttons. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's actually a controller for an E thing.
Or left and right. Maybe.
Well, a wheelie.
Electric bikes as well. Power levels of electric bikes. See, there's more and more to control on a bike, isn't there, as time goes on?
E-bikes, yeah. There's more stuff going on there, isn't there?
Patents don't always mean that product's definitely going to happen, but it does mean they're exploring the ideas. So I think we just need to wait and see.
Yeah.
They put it out in the world to see if anyone's going to challenge it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Are you going to challenge it?
I don't know. Maybe someone at Campag right now is just like throwing his glove in the bin.
If anyone was going to do a Britney Spears style like a microphone, it would be Campag. I think there'll be someone at Campag that's legitimately upset that SRAM have come to.
I think it's a good idea. The voice thing is, I'm really sold on. Because imagine if you had, imagine you had the ability to use handlebars, hold on to them, you're fine. But with motor skills, some people's, they might not be able to have the dexterity, or people with arthritis, like pressing the buttons. I guess braking can always be an issue there as well. It has potential.
If they made braking easier, that would be a better solution, because
braking is the limit. Yeah,
it's very easy on electric bikes.
Yeah, it already is. I don't know. I like weird innovation.
I'm trying to think if there's some kind of like AI thing they're thinking with this as well, because everything's like tech these days, isn't it? But I don't see. I get like a microphone for controlling AI, or some kind of like software doing something. Because why I'm thinking esports in both cases. Maybe that's it. They're both part of an esport thing. So you've got like fingers for controlling movement, and then a speaker for chatting to people. It's like Call of Duty or Call of Bike Messenger.
I mean, Zwift is esports, and that kind of it's growing. It's huge in the mainstream gaming world. It's like £1 million competitions. You win, and you win £1 million, $1 million for the biggest games. So Zwift has potential to I guess less people cycle and play video games. Smaller market, but it could get there. So the tech, if they're investing in the tech.
So Francis, electric shifting has been around for a while. Lots of us were skeptical. I was skeptical of it when it first came out. Is it the same with glove-based shifting and voice-based shifting?
I feel no, but I'll probably eat my words.
The glove one, I really don't get, because you're pressing a button.
But I think that's us not getting it. There's going to be there's a secret.
The voice one, although the voice one, why not? Like, why not? You're riding your bike and you just make it easier, please. Thanks, mate. And then it gets a bit easier.
It says it's using what was the term they use? It uses an already existing voice command thing. So it'll be like Siri or Alexa, something like that. So the software they're using will recognize most people's voices, but I mean, and they're pretty good. They're not accurate.
I'm not overly convinced that gloves have a place without knowing what their plan for it is. Voice activated gearing, I can absolutely categorically imagine people buying, which takes the price of the top end bikes from 15 grand to 25 grand. There's the justification.
I don't care if it makes bikes more expensive, if it makes them more accessible for people.
What, 25 grand?
No, just the technology existing, if it means it makes it easier for someone who can't shift, then brilliant. And stuff does get cheaper. Stuff does trickle down. Look at the group sets we've got here. Like the new 105 is insane. Like the newest Tiagra.
Yeah.
All that Q stuff that comes out will be brilliant.